All right, team, happy start of week number 2 of the Wellness Challenge. A couple of things. If you look at the point sheet, you will only see one change for the week, and that is that your fat is within 10 to 15 grams on one side or the other. So that could be the negatives too. And then that your carbs and your protein are within 15 to 20 grams. Same thing on one side or the other. So this week is kind of mostly about really trying to dial those grams in. And then next week is going to be kind of about figuring out portion sizes, not without having to weigh everything, or at least guessing, so that when you're out and about you have an idea. So I've sent over a couple of different portion size sheets that will go out with this email, but I'm going to go over a couple things. I think it would be beneficial for you to do the same. So pretty much all of them are similar, and just you're using your hand for cups, ounces, etc. So one of them, 1 cup is a fist, and here's my cup, and here's my fist, and it's just good to know like what exactly. Like if I have really large hands, it might be a smaller fist. My fist, there's some space in there, so I could probably do an overflow fist for my cup. For a half a cup, this is my half cup. It's for most, if you look at most of these, it's like half of your fist. So if I were to put like half of my fist in there, it's really like these 2 fingers. Pretty close. Mine might be close to 3. I also have like really baby hands, so that's why you're doing this, so that you can estimate based on your hand. Your teaspoon is just your fingertip, and so if I pull out my teaspoon here, I mean, for me it's like more like a thumb, probably for a lot of you ladies. The tablespoon is supposed to be more like the tip, like the edge of your thumb. Again, like mine is probably 2 of those. So things to measure for your own sake. Let's see here, what else? So if you're talking kind of more like meat, ounces, etc., 3 ounces is for most of these just like a cup, a hand. It's kind of weird to do. A little handful here. And then 1 ounce would just be kind of like the small flat of your palm. Again, you can see that in there. And then there's also like a conversion sheet here that I sent, or am sending. Let me see here. I think it's super helpful just because it basically translates your ounces to cups and to grams and to milliliters. If you haven't realized yet, 1 milliliter equals 1 gram. So that's an easy conversion if you're looking at something that doesn't have grams and you want it in grams. What else did I want to say? Oh, speaking of accountability partners, as someone else's accountability buddy, really you're just kind of browsing through their stuff. You don't have to analyze it. You don't have to give them a ton of feedback. It's more so that when I want to completely derail and just go off the deep end, I know in the back of my mind that I do have to send that to someone, and they will at least glance at it and see it. So really it's more about that. It's also like throughout the week, I don't know if you missed reading it, which is totally fine, you may have. Technically, your goal as accountability partners is to check in on Thursdays and Sundays. Just send over your MyFitnessPal diary, which you can do just directly through MyFitnessPal. Send out 2 recipes or share 2 recipes with one another that may have worked for you, or maybe that you saw and it wasn't of interest to you but might be of your partner. And then the last one is to check in with them sometime throughout the week, unexpectedly, just so that they don't know it's coming. So those are how you get your 10 points for the week with your accountability buddy. Here's what I will say. A lot. I know that this has been a lot. I think it's getting a little bit easier. If you feel like I haven't even had a chance to look at the wellness piece of this, you are not the only one, and it's just fine. once you kind of, hopefully by the end of this week, you'll have that dialed in. Your grams, your percentages, your food. Then for the next 2 weeks, you can look at the wellness piece of this. And if that's not your goal and you just want to dial in your food, that's fine. This is about you. It's not really about, some of it's about points and winning, but most of it is about finding something that works for you in the long term. So keep that in mind. If you have not been able to dial in your grams and your percentages, you're high in one place, low in the other place, please, you can email me and contact me, and we can get a time set up for us to meet sometime early this week, ideally, so we can get on top of that right away. Okay. Last thing. This week, yesterday, but if you didn't do it yesterday, do it today. Take your photos, front, back, side, so your week number 2 photos. And I think that is all. Okay, happy Monday.